Oh, I don't. I just don't want to join a guild. Like my experience is raiding, and I was a hardcore raider back in the day. I've done all of Molten Core. I've done all of Blackwing Lair. I've done all of Encourage, all of Naxxramas. Naxxramas when it was relevant. And here's a fun stat for you. Less than a tenth of a percent, I think it was, or it might be less than 1%, of the total population that played WoW at the time had even stepped foot into Naxxramas. And I was in, you know, whatever demographic that was. And, I mean, yeah, I was really, really into that shit. You know, my excuse was, which is horseshit by the way, was that I was doing it for gear so that I can PvP and crush noobs in, you know, epic gear. And believe me, I did crush noobs in epic gear. It was some of the most fun I've ever had playing WoW. I had access to a warrior that had, you know, like tier 2 level epics with an ash candy. And if you play WoW, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I would charge a rogue, like a rogue who is a fresh level 60, running around with, like, I don't know, what was it, like 24k HP unbuffed, or buffed, maybe, if that. No, they had like 3k if they had Fortitude and Kings and all that fun stuff, but, I mean, I shit you not, I would charge these guys, and they would die. That would be it. I wouldn't do Mortal Strike, I wouldn't do any of that stuff. I wouldn't even get to hamstring them, and they would just fall over and die. And it's ridiculous and unfair, but it is so much fun when you have that kind of advantage. I mean, can you blame me? I mean, you know, I'm sitting here charging this poor rogue over and over again, and you know, being a sword spec warrior, you know, with access to, you know, a Wind Fury totem, because I'd always run around with a shaman bot, not an actual bot. It's like I'd have a pocket healer, is the proper term, and I would charge these guys, and they would just die because you would get a Wind Fury proc, and if you're like new to the game and you're like, wait a minute, Wind Fury doesn't do that. Wind Fury back in the day was actually, it would have a 20% chance to proc an extra attack, and then you would have Sword Specialization, which was a 6% or 5 or 6% chance to proc an extra attack, and then you'd have Hand of Justice, which was a trinket that would give you a 2% chance to proc an extra attack, and these things would proc off each other, so it was not uncommon to have one sword swing suddenly turn into 6 swings. It was not out of the question. And that is what I did to people when I played my friend's warrior, and that was fun. And I don't even know why I'm talking about that, but, actually, oh yeah, I was talking about, the reason why I rated hardcore, and, yeah, I think, like, I was in this guild Team Ice, and we were, I think, the first on the server to clear Naxxramas and kill Kel'Thuzad. I think it was something like maybe the 10th in the US to do that or something. I don't know, I don't really care. The information, that kind of information wasn't as, you know, widespread as it was today. Like if someone in Korea, you know, killed heroic Alakir, it would be, you know, on the various MMO sites that are out there now, you know, within like the hour. And that was not the case back then, or at least maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I really didn't pay attention. Don't really care. But yeah, basically I was in a hot shit guild. I hated my guild. I PvP'd for, I think, two minor upgrades to what I already had. Unfortunately, one of the officers also played a shaman, and he kind of got precedence over the gear, and the gear never drops. So it's kind of a second banana. I got lots of PvE gear though, but that's not really what I was there for. I had full tier 3. Oh boy, look at me heal so good. Fucking spam chain heal all day every day. But yeah. and I rated it was like a second. It really was a second job. Like I was rating like I don't know, an upwards of some of these like they would start I think at like 7 p.m. and they could go on up until midnight, if not later than that, on a bad day. And believe me, we had a lot of bad days. You know, we were the best guild on the server, but honestly, it didn't feel like we played like the best guild on the server. But you know, that kind of ties into 40. You know, the downside of a 40-man raid because you know it's logistically impossible to have a successful 40-man raid day in and day out because 40 people is just asking way too many people to be on the same page. And I'd be a liar if I said I didn't hate the majority of people that I have ever raided with. Yeah, I am a glutton for punishment. Shouldn't be surprising considering I do 15-part live commentary sessions with complete randoms. It's just what I do. I'm not smart, what can I say? But, yeah. Anyway, the rating. I'm not into it. Like, I would be more than happy to, like, find a group of 10 guys who were competent to raid, but, that's easier said than done because, for the most part, whenever I raid, there's always that, one guy who's, straggling behind, being carried, dead weight, whatever you want to call it. And, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm just too picky. I should join a raiding guild. Actually, I don't think I should, but I don't know. Don't know. I was thinking of saying something, but then I totally forgot. I lost my train of thought. No shit. I don't remember what I was gonna say. I've already talked about how shitty my BG is, and I don't really like arena. I guess I can talk why. Honestly, I'm not really a big fan of PvP in this game. I don't really like the direction it's gone into. Oh shit! What the fuck? Targeted a rat. I liked it a lot better in vanilla when things were much simpler. Like, it was a lot more clear-cut as to, what classes could do and couldn't do, and now they've moved the game into a different direction where everything is homogenized and, everyone can do anything, and it's just, the uniqueness that the game had back in the day is no longer there. Yeah, this place is a giant shithole. Yeah, it's like back in vanilla I mained an elemental shaman. I pretty much spammed lightning bolt, blew people up. I grinded. Oh yeah, I grinded for high warlord. This was before they made high warlord easy mode. This is when, like, high warlord was basically a PvP rank, like a PvP, I guess, leaderboard type esque system. Like, there would be weekly rankings and they would update, and you were competing with other people to progress. But unfortunately, in order to like progress into the next rank, you had to be at the top of the top. It wasn't like, how should I put this? I don't even know if this would be the right term for like a linear style progression, where like if you're going from like level 1 to 2, you could get there eventually, but it'd take you a while, depending on how long you played. Like, you'd get there faster, like, if you played more, and if you didn't play as much, you'd still get there eventually. But, with this PvP system, it was based on how well you did within the server. Like, it didn't matter if you played, 20 hours. If someone played 21 hours, he would rank up higher than you, and that could mean the difference between you achieving the next rank and you staying where you are. Like, there's a story of this one guy who, like, like progressing, like actually attaining high warlord was somewhat of a team effort. Like people would plan this shit out. It's like they would say like, okay, I'll get this much honor, so you can't pass this much limit, or you can't pass this certain number, and that would be that. They would get like let's say for instance I would get 25,000 points for that week, and another guy would stop at 20,000 or 19,000, whatever was lower than what I said. And that wasn't the case with this guy. Like he was I think, what was the rank? He was rank 13. I don't remember the name of the rank before. Oh, it was Warlord. He was 99% of the way through Warlord. Like there was no visible space between him getting into the next level. And so he kind of took it easy that week, thinking that he would get high Warlord next week as a sure thing. And lo and behold, the Tuesday comes and he didn't get high Warlord and he quit the game. All of that time spent grinding high Warlord, and he didn't even get it, and he ended up quitting. Not to say it wasn't worth quitting, it's just unfortunate. And I was one of the people who actually gained high Warlord, though we really had no system in place. I had my own system for getting honor, and that was whipping ass. Of course it was whipping ass, but pretty much what I did is I would go into these battlegrounds and I would pick people off from full health to none, or I would try to take off as much HP as I can, because that's how honor worked back in the day. Like you would get honor depending on how much damage you did to a guy, and I would try to kill every single unique person 3 times for the most honor I possibly could. So like, if you know what I'm talking about, like, I have a screenshot from back in the day of me killing, I think, like 150 people for 40k honor. And I remember some guy asked me, like, how the hell did you get that much honor for, that, small, that, I guess, lackluster amount of kills? And, that was what I did. And I even had a mod to track all of that and everything. I was very, very into it. I even enlisted the help of some guy who's in my fucking guild, some English guy named Yobo. I actually had help from him because I was still in high school at the time, so I couldn't compete with, these people who I guess didn't have any obligations like work or school or anything, and they were able to play a lot more, and I needed, a helping hand, to not fall behind. And, I mean, yeah, it was very, very competitive, and somehow I managed to do it. I made High Warlord the same week with some guy named Wrathbone, when we eventually met up in Team Ice, he was in Team Ice, and then I joined Team Ice, and I was like, hey, High Warlord Wrathbone, what's up, brother? But, yeah, I mean, the game was very, very unhealthy back in the day, but, that's also part of what made it great. Now, if you read the forums, there's always those guys who will say, oh, it was so much better back in the day. And, while that is true, at least I think, in my opinion, you also can't deny that the game was also in a very, very bad state. Like, it was very much so about time invested. And, not everyone has, the time required to get to the top of the top, and now that's a lot more lenient, and the super elitists will argue that this game is super casual, but I mean it's for the best. But I can't deny that vanilla WoW back in the day was something special, and now everyone kind of looks the same and all that fun stuff. But whatever, what can you do? Things have got to change for the better, they say. But, whatevs. Last boss. It was a pretty long instance. Excellent group, by the way. Yes, I am an excellent tank, I agree. World's best paladin. It's not a thing, it's me. You heard it here first. I don't even think he plays this game anymore. Not that I blame him. But, whatever. I'm not here to talk about it. I never really did much like his videos, but... Oh shit, what the fuck. But, yeah, basically, I play very little now. PvP and raiding back in the day sucked. And that's all there is to it. I play on Illidan. I have 4 different characters. I have this Paladin. I have a Frost Death Knight. I have a Shadow Priest. And I have an Enhancement Shaman. And they are all raid ready. They all have 348 plus item level. They all have their fair share of epics. I mean, my characters are ready to go. It's just I lack the achievements and all that fun stuff to even get in these raids, and my reluctance to join a guild certainly isn't helping that, but I don't know, maybe things will change, maybe they won't. I don't really care. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I cancel my account within the next week. I don't know. I honestly don't know why I'm still playing, but whatevs. We'll see what happens. So that is that instance, and that is a crappy healer thingy. And that is a new icon for a relic. That is also garbage. So on and so forth. Blah, blah, blah. So, I guess that's pretty much it for now. There is a lot more I could say about WoW. But if I ever make another WoW video, I will save it for that. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And a pea soup.